WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. The quest to find a killer continues tonight in Clay County. We now know the names of the two people found shot to death on a rural road. Late yesterday afternoon, deputies found 23-year-old Kentario LaShawn Boyd and 23-year-old Kenya Campbell with what appeared to be multiple gunshot wounds on Dixie Road in western Clay County. Investigators recovered shell casings and other evidence at the scene. Clay County Sheriff Eddie Scott says one victim was inside a car while the other was found partially outside of the vehicle. Scott says investigators are working around the clock to find the gunman.
And right now we're in the process of questioning some people of interest. So it's ongoing and we're going to stay with it till we go as far as we can.
Boyd and Campbell's bodies are in Pearl for an autopsy. No one wants to think of their road as the scene of a crime or imagine shady dealings and deadly consequences just down the street. The people who live on that rural road in Clay County feel the same way. WCBI's Victoria Bailey joins us live with their story. Victoria?
That's right, Joey. I spent the day with people who live near the crime scene, and they tell me they're experiencing a wide range of emotions. There's sadness, there's confusion, but most of all, they tell me there's fear. The neighbors who live on Dixie Hill Road are scared.
I mean, how would you feel? It's this close to home, and you don't know what's going on, so... You know, it kind of like make you suspicious because you don't know who to trust and who not to trust. You know, it kind of make you like you don't know who to trust, so you want to stay in your house. Clay County Sheriff Eddie Scott responded to the call, and he says his deputies are working around the clock looking for answers so people who live here can feel safe again.
Any type of violent crime, you know, in our communities, it sends shockwaves. People get scared, and a lot of times they don't understand or don't know what's going on. So, you know, it's our job to reassure them that, you know, hey, it's going to be okay.
Nicole Burns lives not far from the crime scene, and she says this changes how she feels about her own community.
Well, I was in shock because my mom had called and told me, and I was just leaving her home before it happened, like maybe 2 hours. So I was like totally shocked. I was scared also, but I was more in shock. Like, I can't believe like something like that happened in our neighborhood.
Scott says much of their investigation depends on what people see and what they share.
We always want people to call, even if they think it may be insignificant. That's what our 911 system is for. Call it in and let us check it out. If you have information on this crime or any crime, you know, we encourage you to call. Call the sheriff's office. The continued cooperation amongst the agencies and working with the public.
Burns says she lives in a tight-knit community, and for this crime to happen so close to home is upsetting.
You know, everyone pretty much knows everybody in the neighborhood, so it's like it's kind of like a safe neighborhood because everyone knows everyone. But you know, you still have to be aware of your surroundings and everything that's going on, so you have to still be safe.
Now, Sheriff Scott emphasizes the importance of community as the case continues. If you have information and would like to remain anonymous, you're available to call West Point Crime Stoppers. Reporting live in West Point, I'm Victoria Bailey for WCBI News. Joey?
Starkville police are investigating a weekend assault in Brooksville Gardens. The incident happened about 2 Sunday afternoon. Family members tell WCBI the victim knew her assailant. She was flown to a Jackson hospital and is being treated there. According to family members, no arrests have been made. If you have any information, call Starkville Police or Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers. Time now to turn our attention to weather, and Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson has your first look. Keith?
Well, Joey, it really looks like a pretty nice day. It really is, but then you factor in the temperature, and it's a nasty day still. 44 degrees currently in Columbus. The wind from the northwest at about 8 miles per hour. Temperatures are cool out there. 45 in Tupelo, 45 in Starkville and West Point, 47 in Winona. After the sun goes down, we're quickly falling into the 30s and then through the 30s this evening. Lows tonight back into the 20s again. Mid to upper 20s, much like last night. Bring in the pets. Protect the pipes and protect your plants, but we have a warm-up coming. More on that in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Keith. A contract dispute between Children's Hospital of Alabama and Mississippi Medicaid is devastating news for some area families. WCBI's Quentin Smith talks with an area family who's feeling the impact. He joins us live in the studio with more. Quentin.
Joey, Bill Elam of Amory says he was made aware of this decision this past Friday. He's been taking his son to the Children's of Alabama for 5 years now. It's the only hospital he trusts, but now this North Mississippi father is considering moving his family across the state line. Meet 9-year-old Robbie Elam.
He's my happy child.
He's one of the nearly 125 patients possibly affected now that the Children's Hospital of Alabama is no longer accepting Mississippi Medicaid patients. On average, Robbie goes to the Children's in Birmingham 2 to 3 times a year to have his GT tube replaced.
I don't know what will happen if his tube all of a sudden goes to leaking or gets bad or something. I don't know what I'll do. I really don't. If he can't eat, we got problems.
Bill Elam, Robbie's father, believes United Healthcare, a managed care program under Medicaid, is the reason for the problem.
I'm hearing that United doesn't want to work with the hospital, and so the hospital, therefore, they have a lot of patients comes there from Mississippi, and they can't keep performing everything for free. I mean, that's basically what's happening.
Elam says this news still has him at a loss for words. He's tried calling United for answers, but got no results.
They told me that they was that University Children's of Alabama wasn't accepting Mississippi Medicaid, and the doctors weren't in the network, and that was basically all they said.
The single father is still searching and trying to figure out what he's going to do next. He's visited other hospitals in Jackson and Memphis, but Children's of Alabama is the only one he feels comfortable enough taking his son to for his treatments.
I'm sure Jackson can do it if I'd let him put him to sleep every time, but I'm just not comfortable. I've asked them before too, what are you waiting on him not to wake up? Because it's difficult when you get put to sleep a lot.
Elam says he's tired of waiting. He even wrote the governor a letter asking for help. His son, Robbie, will need to go to the doctor in the next few months. And this determined father says he's willing to move across the state line to get his son whatever treatment is needed.
Why should I have to put a for sale sign in my yard, sell my home, just to get quality health care for my child?
Now, Children's Hospital of Alabama has not returned our call for comment about the decision. Joey, back to you.
When we come back, we check in on a North Mississippi town cleaning up after last week's storms.
You're watching WCBI's News at 6 with Joey Barnes.
Welcome back, everyone. The Lowndes County Road Department will begin working on roads this summer, but site preparation is already underway. Crews were on Martin and Old Wolf roads today in Caledonia doing some pre-leveling work. The paving and patchwork will start in July. 33 roads in the county are scheduled to receive some type of paving work this year. Supervisors approved the road plan last month. About 200 Tremont water customers will be without water for at least part of the day tomorrow. Tremont Town Clerk Wendy Abbott says the water supply will be cut off at 7:30 in the morning to locate and fix a leak in the town's main water line. Service could be restored by Thursday afternoon, but it's unclear how severe the leak is. The town expects a boil water notice afterward, which could be lifted by Monday. Most of the debris is gone and insurance companies remain busy in Amory. Hail the size of golf balls battered the northern Monroe County town. High winds also caused damage, including when a tree fell on a home. Monroe County Emergency Management Agency Director Bunky Goza says most, if not all, of the debris has been removed from the streets. City and county workers had to wait for residents to put the debris on the roadside because they cannot go on private property. Now, many of those who had damaged property are working out claims with their insurance provider.
Well, we have some Irish luck coming our way for Friday, St. Patrick's Day. A little pot of gold, some sunshine, some clouds, 69 degrees, much warmer than tonight. So looking at the freeze potential, full forecast is next.
Your First Alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
We had a cold start to the day, but it's always nice to see Old Glory flying overhead, and this was a scene at Mississippi State University earlier today. Very chilly, but nice to see some sunshine and the vibrant colors right there. Thanks a lot to Tom for that great video right there. And all that blue sky made for a great trek down to Macon Happy Start Learning Academy today. Look at all the kids here. We were talking weather earlier this morning, had a great time talking about storms and severe weather. It's actually getting into our prime severe weather season between now and mid-May over the next 60 days, so we had a great time down there today. And look at all the sunshine in Tupelo. Folks already setting up in downtown at Fair Park for the barbecue duel starting this Friday. That's our Alpha Insurance time lapse this afternoon. You can see some of these wispy high clouds starting to stream on in from the northwest. That could stop us from bottoming out later tonight. We'll just wait and see, but at this point we have a freeze warning again for the entire viewing area, and we're still advertising mid to upper 20s for lows around here tonight, so another hard freeze, much like the one we had earlier this morning. So protect the plants, the pipes, bring the pets on in. This is going to be the last extremely cold night for a while. We will quickly moderate as we get into the end of this week. Currently in the mid-40s around here, low 50s just off to our south. Big time warmth down here in the desert southwest. Phoenix right now at 90. It's still 72 in Billings, Montana. So there's that divide right there. We are on the wrong side of the equation if you really wanted to have that warm weather for spring break. But that warm air is coming on back later this week. High pressure is from Canada. This is giving us the cold air today. There are those high clouds back to the northwest, and we will see additional high clouds in the region tomorrow. I'm hopeful for some low 50s in our region. We'll take it compared to the 40s we've had out there today. So a little bit warmer tomorrow, and then we're back into the upper 60s for Friday, and we're just staying in the 60s for the weekend. High pressure on the way out. High clouds for tomorrow. As we get into Friday, you don't really see it here, but there's probably going to be some additional clouds in the region. Much warmer southerly breezes will warm us up, and then this front sinks on in Friday night and Saturday morning. That will give us a chance for a few showers. Here's our 7-day forecast: 52 tomorrow, 69 Friday, 68 Saturday. A pretty good chance for showers Friday night, Saturday morning. Sunday's looking gorgeous. 77 on Monday. Spring officially arrives. It will feel like it. And we stay mild Tuesday and Wednesday. Joey?
Coming up, we'll continue our preview of the Mississippi State women's basketball team as they prepare to host the NCAA tournament next in sports.
WCDI First Alert Weather School is brought to you by Emerson Animal Hospital in West Point. WCDI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Well, it's been over a week since the last time we saw the Mississippi State women's basketball team play. They will be back in action this weekend, though, and the games get a little bit more important and interesting as the NCAA women's basketball tournament tips off on Friday. For head coach Vic Schaefer, he's very happy to be back home. If you'll remember, the Bulldogs, back in the non-conference schedule, rarely played at Humphrey Coliseum. Now they get a chance to do so in the hopes of advancing to the Sweet 16.
We were on the road so much in pre-conference. Only had 3 non-conference games at home. I think the committee rewarded us for that. And so that gets you ready for our conference where we go 13-3, another school record. And so I think all of it combined just gets you ready for this time of year.
It is a reward just because playing at home is just amazing. We have the best fans in the country, and you know they always help us, give us that extra energy that we need, and we love playing in front of our fans.
And Vic Schaefer was named a finalist for the National Coach of the Year today. He's one of 4 finalists, so that's a big deal as well for Mr. Schaefer. And it's a big deal for Mississippi State to be back at home. They'll be playing at 1:30 p.m. against Troy on Friday. Now, according to a release from Mississippi State, the game will be on ESPN2, so those of you who can't get off of work or who don't get to use that Vic Schaefer letter to be able to get out of your work-related instances with your bosses. The game will be on ESPN2, so you can try to log online or find a TV and watch the game at work if you get a chance to do so. With the win, MSU will play the winner of Northern Iowa and DePaul coming up on Sunday. Well, have you filled out your bracket yet? Here's my bracket. It's all set. It's all ready to go. But if you haven't filled out your bracket just yet, as I do annually, it's time to run through our latest bracket tip to help you put together the perfect bracket, because you know it's going to happen. It's bound to happen to someone. No one has ever had a perfect bracket according to life and science, but we hope it's going to happen. Here is one of my bracket tips for you. For picking upsets, everyone wants to try to find the next Cinderella or the big-time upset in this year's tournament. For those of you who want that, try to find 2 teams. Pick a 12 seed and then either a 13, 14, or 15 seed to win. So bear with me for a second. A 12 seed has won at least 1 game in 8 of the last 9 NCAA tournaments, and those 12 seeds also account for 1/4 of the double-digit upsets every single year. A 13, 14, or 15 seed has won at least 1 game in 9 of the last 10 NCAA tournaments. That includes the 14 seed that's actually won an NCAA tournament game in each of the last 4 tourneys. So if you're looking to break it big with a big-time upset, hopefully you use that tip for yourself and your bracket pools and bracketing rights. Well, if you're not in the mood for some basketball, we do have baseball coming up this weekend as the SEC officially gets going in the baseball calendar. Mississippi State will be on the road in Fayetteville taking on Arkansas, again, a Friday through Sunday series, starting at 6 on Friday. Saturday's game will actually be on the telly on SEC Network. Sunday will be an online-only game. For Ole Miss, they will have Vanderbilt at Swayze, Friday through Sunday series. The Sunday game will be on the SEC Network at 3 o'clock. So both teams, Ole Miss 12-5 on the season, Mississippi State 12-6. This gets to the point of the season where you got to get wins, obviously. Mississippi State, the defending SEC champions, as many people seem to forget after last year. But regardless, we'll continue to follow baseball. And obviously, have you filled out your bracket?
I have filled out my bracket. My bracketology bracket on WCBI.
You should go online. Join our contest.
Exactly.
Plenty of great prizes for the men's and women's brackets.
Yeah, and I picked Arizona. We'll see. We'll be right back.
Cold weather tonight. If we can get through tonight, Joey, it should be okay.
Warm up finally.
I don't think we're going to have another freeze over the next 7 days after tonight. Certainly good news. Still chilly tomorrow, though, and then we're rewarded St. Patrick's Day, and much warmer next week.
Yeah, those 70s look really good.
They're coming on back.
All right. Thanks, Keith. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Have a great night.